What's up, everybody? My name is Cap, the Everyday Gamer, and you're watching a team deathmatch on Drive-In. That's right, this is an old Black Ops video. I haven't actually played the game in quite a while, but I was digging around some old video clips and saw this one. Thought it was worthy enough of uploading to share with you guys and just kind of talk about. I was going to talk about my history with Call of Duty and the things I actually like about it, and try and keep it a positive note throughout the video here. When I first started playing online shooters, on the consoles at least or whatever, I was playing games like Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon, kind of the slower, more tactical based shooters. And so when I first picked up Call of Duty 4, which was my first Call of Duty, like a lot of people out there, is where I got my start in the series. So when I first picked it up and started playing it, I played it the same way I did with like Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six. Real slow, tactical, what most people would just call camping, and I did more sniping and kind of laying prone and, tactical movement around the map. I was definitely not a rusher by any means. You look at my stats back in the day, and I was definitely not a good player by any means. Not that I'm a great player now, but at least I've improved, or at least I think I have. But, look at Call of Duty 4 or whatever. By the time the life cycle of that game ended, I hadn't even made it to Prestige level 1 yet. I mean, I was just sucked at the game horribly bad. World at War came out around the time that my son was born, so I didn't actually get to play it that much, and I just wasn't really in the vibe for a World War II shooter, sorry. So I didn't play it that much, and I had a good time with it. I didn't have anything against it. It was just wasn't really my cup of tea at the time. And then Modern Warfare 2 came out, and I continued with my normal playstyle, the way I had been playing, the slow, tactical base. And then about a few months into actually playing it, some of my friends introduced me to the YouTube community, basically. They were like, hey, you should go check out some of these commentators, and I didn't even know that was a thing. Doing commentaries over video games wasn't anything I'd even considered, much less knew of. So I started watching, the bigger guys. I watched I'll Use Me Blade and CNanners and Hutch and Tabe and Mr. Phantasmo and those kind of guys, and seeing how they were playing. And I'm like, holy cow, these guys are way up there and prestiging. They've got these high KDRs. They're, beasting in the games and just having a good time with it, and they're rushing around having a good time. And so I kind of watched their videos and used it as sort of like tips and tricks on my own, and kind of started doing the same thing, moving a little bit more, using a little bit more fast-paced pace, I guess, playing the game, and had a lot more fun with it. And since then, my entire game style has changed, and now the idea of sitting around not moving and sniping all the time and laying prone all the time, that just annoys the holy crap out of me. But it's funny to see how it's changed from when I first started to now. So when I look back and I try and think about the things I liked in Call of Duty 4 and World at War, it's hard for me to think too much about it, because I had such a different play style back then. I go back and play those games now, and I definitely rush around a lot more. It's a whole different game. And, I really enjoy those games. The simplicity behind them, the mechanics were very sound. There wasn't a whole lot of fluff to them, so I really enjoyed those games. Modern Warfare 2 had a lot of good things about it. Of course, it had the negative things everybody knows about, and, the things that everybody liked to exploit, and, there was definitely things that made the game a lot less fun to play. But the mass customization of it is what I really liked about it. It was the first time you could really just completely customize how you wanted to play the game. It catered to every kind of gamer, basically. If you were a rusher, if you were a camper, a sniper, a knifer, if you wanted to go all cheesy with explosives, I mean, it was something for everybody in there. Black Ops came out, and it was kind of the same thing. It was there was a lot to it for every type of player. And I really enjoyed this game. I really did. And the one thing that kept me from really just loving this game all the way up until Modern Warfare 3 came out was the lag comp issues in the game. And, I'm not going to delve into that too much or whatever, but that was the one flaw of it. I mean, yeah, I wasn't a fan of Second Chance, just like anybody else was. But, that was counterable, and, people sitting in corners with Ghost. It was annoying, but it wasn't game-breaking. So it was simply down to the connection issues in this game that made it no fun for me. But when the times it was working and hit detection was working great, I really enjoyed this game. I liked the maps, I liked the weapons. I was a few little things I didn't like about having to play specific game modes to get pro perks, but once again, that was one of those things that I could learn to deal with. Modern Warfare 3, you know, it's the same thing. If it wasn't for connection issues, I'd absolutely love the game. There's a lot to it. It's, you know, even furthers the in-depth customization about it. So there's just been, you know, my experience with Call of Duty has changed so much over the last 4 or 5 years, basically. And look at all that beast hit detection. There it goes, finally. So, you know, I really like this series. One of the things I like about the entire series at all is the drop in and play. You know, you can, regardless of what your play style is, you can pretty much just drop into a game, head off, and start playing it. There's not that much of a learning curve. I mean, if you want to do really good, then of course you got to practice and learn the routes, and there's some tactics to pick up, of course, but it's not that difficult to learn to do good in the game versus playing like Battlefield. And I am not trashing it or comparing the two whatsoever, but it's not a secret that, you know, Battlefield requires a lot more of a learning curve basically to do really well in it. You spend a lot of time trying to just figure out how to play in a successful way. And like I said, that's not a bad thing. I'm having fun with it so far, and I'm not comparing any of those at all. That's just how it is so far. So I mean, I like the quick pace, the arcade style shooter, the run and gun, or at least when it's played like it's designed or whatever. It's supposed to be a fast-paced shooter. It's supposed to be a you know, game based on reaction time and, you know, not tactical movements and stuff. Playing with your team isn't necessarily a requirement to be able to do good in this game. You could easily just run around all by your lonesome and still do pretty good. So anyway, that's just a couple of things, you know, I like about it, and kind of my history in the game, and just kind of wanted to talk about a few of the positive things I like. I like the Call of Duty series. I look forward to seeing where it's going, and, you know, hopefully they can iron out some of the bugs. In the meantime, hope you guys liked the video. You know, I appreciate you guys' time, and you have a good one.